Alright guys, so I want to talk about something that Modern Warfare is doing, the multiplayer developers, what they're making this game around, why it may actually be bad for the game and may ruin the entire game itself. I know I'm starting off with some harsh words here, and we just played the alpha, the 2v2 gunfight alpha. We had a great time and we saw how great of a game this is, but a bunch of people have been seeing a bunch of the different statements from the developers and them talking about how they're making this game, and a lot of people have different opinions on this. And I'll go through, obviously, both sides. I don't want to give you guys one side, and then we'll have a final verdict as to, is this going to ruin Modern Warfare multiplayer especially, maybe the whole game at large, maybe campaign, Spec Ops, Battle Royale, who knows. Let's go through where this is coming from. Infinity Ward Designer says Call of Duty games have become so balanced that it takes the fun out. So let me go through all of the information, then I'll talk about, the evolution of Call of Duty, how we got to this point. So this is actually from a multiplayer designer. He did an interview, and here's some of the stuff he was saying. I think somewhere along the lines, these games have tried to get so balanced. Maybe it was esports. It's kind of just boiled the fun out of things when you try to super balance everything. We're just having fun. We want to just be able to climb around and have fun interactions. If I can creatively problem solve this firefight instead of having me force down the hallway, I can use my brain better. I can get a different advantage. It's kind of a, puzzle platform approach. We just want to create more dynamic situation. We've boiled it down to this micro level of one-on-one combat and what we can do to add variability to the outcome of that, from climbing around you to running inside and closing a door that causes you to make a choice. You're gonna have to run in and enter that building somehow. And that's pretty much the gist of it there. Now, quickly, let me go through the balancing thing. Obviously, Call of Duty games need to be balanced. You can't just have a game and there's clearly OP weapons, there's clearly weapons that are underpowered, and then you don't patch it and you don't try to balance the game throughout the year. That would just suck. That was a huge problem with a bunch of the past games where they couldn't balance the game. I think it was MW2, they barely had any patch updates, and you had these same overpowered weapons that, obviously caused for a fun game, but did sort of ruin the game because you never had these weapons sort of go up to par with a lot of the other weapons. The weapons that were trash stayed trash the whole year, and the weapons that were OP and broken forever. So I think there needs to be that balancing, but you have to look at the other side. He's right, especially with the past couple of games. It seems like these games are being made for esports. The past 3 games especially, they've focused on 3-lane maps. They've focused on all of these different super balanced aspects where it's like, okay, the game just becomes so stale and bland and it's not fun anymore. And I actually do understand what he's saying here. And a lot of people do agree. The comments to Charlie Intel's tweet here, the replies, are really positive for the most part. This guy's saying, this guy's an absolute legend, I'm so happy. Someone else, this man is a legend. And all these different people pretty much saying like, wow, this is finally what we need. Enough of the 3-lane maps, enough of the super balancing, and a bunch of comparisons to Black Ops 4. But here is where the other side comes in. This is from Reddit. Of course, it's from Reddit. Sometimes you get some good stuff from Reddit. Sometimes people just like to post their opinions and they feel like they're right. I don't know. I don't want to get into that now, but this guy's saying, isn't trying to make the game fun the same thing Treyarch got wrong last year. So I'm not going to post this whole Reddit article up on screen and all of these long comments. It'd get boring. So pretty much what he's saying is that the purpose of Black Ops 4 apparently was for them to make a fun game. And let me just say this outright. Black Ops 4 from the start was not meant to be a fun game. And if you guys know about the Black Ops 4 development cycle, and this, he actually cites specialists as being a reason. The Black Ops 4 specialists were not put into Black Ops 4 because the game is going to be fun with specialists. It was put into Black Ops 4 because Black Ops 4 was supposed to be an Overwatch style shooter, and that's what they were gunning for. It was supposed to be, it had boost jumping. It was supposed to have all of this different stuff, this Overwatch style game, but for Call of Duty. And that's really the only reason why specialists were there. And also, it was an easy carryover from Black Ops 3. It wasn't really put in there for fun. And if anything, the specialists made it so you have these balanced things and you can only pick one specialist per person on a map, on a team. And they were purposely putting it in there for balancing purposes. And with Black Ops 4, the game was unfinished anyway. So anything that they were adding to the game, it was really just to finish the game however they could. So I think, honestly, that argument there is out of the window. So for them making this game fun, I think overall the final verdict here is that it's overall a good thing that the developers and the designers are making this game for the purpose of the players to have fun. I think overall, for the most part, that is a good thing. Now, they can't just go 100% fun because, for one, esports is a thriving scene, and I do like to see esports grow, and I don't want the game to be completely broken to where the point that it doesn't become an esport anymore. It's like sort of Fortnite, where Fortnite, they add in all of these crazy weapons, all these crazy items, and it completely messes up esports for Fortnite. And obviously, when that's messed up, then that whole community is screwed, and that does suck because esports is a huge part of making, video games sort of mainstream in that aspect. And I do want to see Call of Duty esports grow even larger, so that would suck as well. And also for the casual players, if you're just making the game purely on the fun aspect, then you're gonna have these overly broken weapons, and you're gonna have this stuff where it's like, well, you need to balance the game a little bit. Obviously, you want to make sure everyone's having fun, but you also want to make sure the game is sort of fair in some aspects. You want to balance these weapons. You gotta nerf, you gotta buff sometimes. That's just how it works. So really what's going on here is that I think, again, we saw from the alpha, we saw from what everyone's saying, these guys have good intentions. These guys know what's up. So I think for sure, I trust Infinity Ward this time around, definitely, as to what they're going to be doing here. So I don't think you guys should be worried about anything right now. The only thing you guys should be worried about is microtransactions. Only thing. I honestly think that's the only thing you guys should be worried about, microtransactions, because that's out of Infinity Ward's control. That's all down to Activision for the most part. Infinity Ward, they do have some control, but it's really down to Activision. So that's the only thing you guys should be worried about. Right now, this game is looking pretty good, and can't wait to play it very soon. And that's that. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, leave a comment below. Modern Warfare, if you watched the whole video, it's greatly appreciated. See you guys later. Goodbye.